We've all seen those phishing scams. For years, they've been pretty easy to spot. But what happens when you give those old scams a massive upgrade with artificial intelligence? Well, suddenly, those clumsy emails with terrible grammar are gone. They've been replaced by these super sophisticated attacks that can fool just about anyone. So let's dive into this new reality and, more importantly, figure out how we can fight back.
To really get a grip on how serious this is, we're going to start with a true story. And this isn't some theoretical threat either. This was a real-world heist that all started with a single phone call. A phone call that sounded completely 100% real.
So how did they pull it off? Well, the crazy part is just how simple the whole process was. First, the attackers just grabbed audio of the company's CEO that was already out there. Things like interviews or public speeches. They fed all that into a voice cloning AI. Then, after doing a little homework on who's who in the company, they made the call. An employee picks up the phone and hears their CEO's exact voice, same tone, same accent, everything, giving an urgent order. And just like that, poof, almost $250,000 was gone. That story, wow. It just perfectly sets the stage for the new landscape we're in. This is not your parents' phishing. The game has totally changed, and these attacks have become like precision-guided weapons.
Okay, so let's just quickly get on the same page. At its heart, phishing is basically a digital costume party. Scammers dress up as someone you trust, your bank, a coworker, you name it, all to trick you into handing over the keys to the kingdom, like your passwords or credit card info.
And this is where that AI upgrade really becomes crystal clear. We all got pretty good at spotting the old red flags, right? The dear valued customer emails, the horrible spelling mistakes. But now look at the right side. AI-powered phishing is personal. It knows your name. It knows your job title. It might even know about that big project you're working on right now. The grammar is flawless, and the request actually seems to make perfect sense.
So, what's the secret sauce here? How is AI getting so good at faking trust that it can fool us? It really comes down to three main tactics that are designed to exploit our natural assumptions about who we're talking to.
First up, the big one, CEO fraud. The AI literally studies a CEO's public communications. We're talking speeches, emails, social media posts, to learn their exact writing style. Then it cooks up a message that looks and sounds exactly like something they would write. And it's almost always an urgent request, leveraging their authority to get you to send money or data without thinking twice. And it's not just the boss they can impersonate. It gets even closer to home. AI can also mimic your colleagues. By scanning internal communications, it can send you a message that seems like it's coming from a teammate you trust. It might even reference a specific project you're working on together, which makes the request seem totally normal and legitimate. And finally, there's vendor spoofing. Now this one is really slick. The AI studies real invoices and emails from your company's suppliers. Then it creates a fake payment request that is a perfect clone of the real thing. Same formatting, same language, same everything. Trying to spot the fake one in a pile of real ones is incredibly tough. Okay, so that's the threat. It's sophisticated, it's clever, and yeah, it's pretty scary. But, and this is a big but, you are not powerless here. So now we're going to switch gears and talk about the solution. A simple, 4-step defense you can use to protect yourself. Think of this as your new mental checklist. First step, be super suspicious of anything that feels unusually urgent. Scammers love to use pressure because it makes you panic instead of think. Second, even with AI, you might spot subtle little inconsistencies, a turn of phrase that's just a bit off, a detail that doesn't feel right. Third, just stop and evaluate the context. Does it really make sense for your boss to be asking you for gift card numbers over text? Probably not. And finally, the most important step of all, independently verify. And this quote right here, it says it all. Never, ever, ever use the phone number or email in the suspicious message itself to check if it's real. That's just asking the fox to guard the henhouse. Instead, pick up your phone and call a number you know is legit. Start a brand new email. Just use a completely different way to communicate. That one simple action is your ultimate shield. A few minutes of your time is a tiny price to pay to avoid a massive loss. So, after everything we've looked at, the fake voices, the perfect emails, all the clever tricks, it all boils down to one simple, incredibly powerful principle. This is the single most important thing to take away from our time together. Just 2 words, always verify. In a world where AI can fake trust so perfectly, your own healthy skepticism and your willingness to double-check are your absolute best defenses. So, the next time an urgent, unexpected request lands in your inbox, what's the one thing you're going to do?